welcome to the Lords of the Sith. I'm Mary and I'm here with Lee.
Hello.
And Denise.
Hi.
Today we're going to talk about Star Wars Celebration. So, Lee and Denise, my friends, what exciting news do you have to tell us?
We're going to Celebration.
Yay!
Yay! We knew that already. Come on, don't tease us.
No, the exciting news is, you guys, we're going to be at Celebration on 2 stages. We're going to be on the podcast stage and we're going to be at Star Wars University stage. That's on Sunday, April 14th at 4:15 p.m. We're going to be at the University stage presenting a talk that's called Romance, Those Ships Also Belong in Star Wars. And then on Monday, April 15th, we're going to be on the podcast stage at 3 p.m.
Yeah, we're super excited for the university panel. We're going to talk about the tradition of romance in Star Wars and the tradition of shipping as well, because it has always existed. And a little bit about Reylo, but also about other ships and other romances. For the podcast, it's more like our podcast, and we're going to focus a little bit more on Reylo. So the university stage is on Sunday, and our podcast is on Monday. So that's a good reason to stay there until Monday, I think. We're going to be on the last ones, because, right, the best for last. I'm just and I don't think there will be a line. So you don't have to line out for hours. See?
The people are like shoving people aside. Let me through. I want to see.
I don't know. Maybe we'll be surprised there'll be tons of people there, but who knows?
Yeah.
And to clarify, you guys, we are Reylos, obviously, and we're going to be talking about Reylo, but these events are for all Star Wars fans. We're not going to be like bashing any ships. We're not going to be like ranking ships or pitting people against each other. It's actually just an informative, positive vibes discussion. You know, it's just going to be fun for everybody. The podcast stage, I mean, anybody who listens to our podcast, that's kind of what you can expect, right? So, but we hopefully new people will discover us and discover Reylo. That would be amazing, right?
Yeah, for sure. So mark your calendars, folks, because that's when you'll be able to meet the esteemed Lee and the awesome Denise.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, we're excited. We're going to be talking about romance in Star Wars, and we're really excited to talk about it. I mean, it's such an important topic.
And I think it's important to have a podcast talking about that in Celebration. It means a lot. I think it's great, and it's fun to look at this topic because, you know, Star Wars, fairy tale in space, you know, it really, I think it's going to be really fun. So I hope to see, if you're going to Celebration, I hope to see you guys there.
Yeah, actually, we're pretty excited because our friend Monty is going to be with us. And Monty, aside from the fact that he is a hardcore Reylo, like he's been part of the Reylo fandom since 2015. We all met online, like right after we saw The Force Awakens. He's a dude, living proof that there are tons of men who ship Reylo and who are active in the fandom and who aren't like threatened or intimidated or rejecting the topics of romance. Because I think that's a very common narrative to say that women are the ones who care about love stories and men are kind of like just here for the spaceships. It's just not true. So it's going to be really fun to hear from Monty. And he's awesome. Like he was actually with us at Star Wars Connection. You guys might remember him. He's done a really great job talking about Kylo Ren. He's also with me in the Reylo playlist episode that we recorded ages ago that hopefully will be out soon. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, and I'll quickly get the bad news out of the way. I sadly will not be attending Celebration this year because I can't afford it. But I'm sure Lee and Denise will give you a wonderful time. So there we go.
And Mary will be with us in spirit.
Yeah. I will be there in the Force. I'll probably pop up on stage as a Force ghost at some point. And Lee and Denise, the big question from me is: are you guys going to cosplay during the event?
Oh my God, yes. So I've been working on my Queen Amidala cosplay for like a year now, on and off to be fair. And I'm going to wear the red throne room dress, like at the very start of the movie where she's like, "I will not condone a course of action that will lead us to war." I think it's gorgeous. I mean, all of her outfits are gorgeous, but that's my favorite one. And, well, one of my favorite ones. Well, yeah, my favorite one. And I'm going to be making the headdress myself out of Warbler, which is like an amazing material that is very light and durable and very forgiving for people who just started making their own stuff. Like I don't have any experience with crafting, so it's been a really nice learning experience for me. Really exciting to make something with my hands, from scratch. It's so relaxing. And once I'm done with it, I will put together a little tutorial, because one thing that really bothered me was that there's not a lot of information about how to make your own headdress. So I'm going to be doing that. And I'm also cosplaying as my favorite Star Wars character ever, which is Anakin, of course. And my costume arrived, and I feel like so good to wear it. Oh my god, I'm such a nerd. Okay.
Oh my god, Lee, you can meet Hayden Christensen wearing that. So it's been announced that he's going there.
Oh my god. I'm so excited that he's going. I kind of had a feeling that he would go. I kept checking for updates because I'm like, there's no way that he's not going to be there.
Yeah. I ordered the Sith cape. If it arrives on time, I'm gonna go as Denise. I don't like to dress up. Not even for Halloween. I just get a witch hat and go as myself. And I think I'm going as myself.
Will you paint Sith tattoos on your face, Denise?
No. I'm gonna
That reminds me of Wednesday. Do you guys remember the Addams Family?
Yeah.
You can go as a sociopath because you look like everyone else. But anyway, Mary, you're actually the queen of cosplay among our Sith little
I'm not that good, honestly.
You are amazing. Like you do. Like I've actually seen you from far away, and I've seen tons of pictures. Like you, and you've been doing this for a long time. So I am gonna take some inspiration from you. Actually, the whole reason why I'm cosplaying is because of you. Because when we were going to attend Celebration in 2017, you strongly encouraged me to cosplay as Anakin. And I was like, I don't have time. Oh, it's a lot of work. Oh, I have to fly there. And I'm the worst person at packing ever. I always need 2 and 3 suitcases. And I need so many pairs of shoes because I'm terrible at making up my mind. So I'm like, I can't do it. And I didn't do it. And then when I was there, I regretted it so much because it looked like so much fun. Everybody looked like they were having such a great time, and there were so many girls that were cosplaying Kylo, and I was like, oh my god, I should have listened to Mary. So I'm like, for sure next time I'm gonna do it. So I'm really glad that you kind of gave me the idea to do it, because I can't miss out this time.
No, honestly, you do feel left out if you don't cosplay. But yeah, for the past 2 celebrations, because I was at the one in London as well, I have cosplayed as Mara Jade, and oh my god, for the 2016 one, which was thankfully in my country, I found out 3 weeks beforehand that it was happening in London, and I thought, oh my god, that is no time to make a really decent Mara Jade cosplay. So I quickly got this catsuit and threw on an awful belt, and I got a really, the ugliest orange wig you could ever imagine. Oh my god, I looked hideous in it, but I still went, and people still recognized me, which I was really surprised at because it was just awful. And then I thought, right, for the next one, I'm gonna make a proper effort. So I ordered some belts to be specially made from a place called Cosmic Workshop in the UK. And if anyone's looking to cosplay, in the UK or otherwise, they need Star Wars belts, go to Cosmic Workshop because they are fantastic. So yeah, I got the belts, I got my catsuit, and I went to Orlando and I dressed up as Mara, and I got a wonderful positive response. So many people wanted pictures with me. And yeah, I probably sound a bit arrogant here, but yeah, I was just so proud of my cosplay, and so proud that people actually took the time to comment on it.
Oh, you should be proud. It was amazing. Can we tell the story of how we
met
but didn't meet?
I think we've told that story already, but it's nice to say it again.
She told only half.
Okay, so here's the thing. So I'm walking around in Celebration, and even though I didn't cosplay, I did have some awesome Ben Solo shirts to support, my favorite sequel trilogy character. So I had this shirt that said "Save Ben Solo," and I'm walking around, and people responded so well to that shirt. I kept getting shout outs, people waving at me, people, like, even in the street, like outside of the celebration grounds, people just like honking the horn and saying, yeah, let's save him.
Oh my God.
It was awesome. Yeah. Like, I think, I thought about it later. I'm like, wait a minute, how come I wear this shirt and if it's not celebration going on and maybe some people will smile or something, but nobody makes such a big fuss out of it. I think it's because when you're in a city that there's celebrations going on, it's like the biggest concentration of Star Wars fans that you're ever going to see. And so even when you're out and about in the city, there's going to be a ton of people who are there attending the conference as well. So when they see you wearing something that references Star Wars, it feels like you kind of know each other already, or it's like a nice icebreaker. Like I love to meet new people, and I had so many nice little conversations like about town, and even in the conference itself, because you feel like, okay, we can talk to each other. But anyway, so I'm walking outside of the grounds, and we were actually leaving Celebration that afternoon because we were going to go to Harry Potter Land or whatever in Orlando. And it was amazing, by the way, if you're a Harry Potter fan. And so as I was walking by, I noticed this girl cosplaying Mara Jade, and I just thought her outfit looked amazing. I'm like, oh my God, that's such a great cosplay. And I'm like, oh, Mary would love this, and I'm just like looking at her, and then she like actually called out to me and she said, what did you say, Mary?
Something about like, I love your shirt. Yes.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah. So we waved at each other. And I'm like, oh, I have to tell Mary about this. Because Mary and I had agreed to meet, but somehow, we were with different groups and we didn't get a chance to actually like coordinate anything. I didn't know if she had like a cell phone access. And so, I just forgot to mention it to her. And then I do this episode with Denise talking about Celebration. And that was when we were still at Star Wars Connection. And I'm telling the story of how I saw this girl. And then I get a message from Mary. Mary, what did you say?
I said, because what happened was on that Star Wars Connection episode, you put up a picture of your black and white Ben Solo t-shirt while you said, oh, people were waving me in the street. And then I thought, wait a minute, I saw a woman wearing a black and white Save Ben Solo shirt. Could it be? And then I messaged you, and turns out it was you.
Oh my God. That's a great story, but I feel so bad that like I should have crossed the street and talked to you, but then it would be weird if I went like, I should have gone and said, I need a picture for my friend.
Yeah, I just honestly I thought I just thought you were like a Reylo from Tumblr, because I know a lot of Tumblr Reylos were saying they dress up in say Ben Solo shirts, so I just thought, oh yeah, that's great. I just met another secret Reylo, because because back then it was before The Last Jedi came out. We were all worried about the reception we would get if we wore Kylo Ren shirts or Reylo shirts. And in fact, I was with a group of people from Star Wars Connection, and oh my God, some of them wore Reylo shirts, like overt Reylo shirts, and I was just like so amazed and by their courage, because I was just like, I could never have done that. I was just like, yeah, I'll cosplay as Mara. I would love to wear a shirt like that, but I'll cosplay as Mara just to be safe. And kudos to them, because I thought it was such a brave thing to do, and they did get some dirty looks. I remember we were queuing up outside to get in, and someone shot one of the girls a dirty look, but she didn't care. Good for her. But apparently, they got a ton of positive response wearing those shirts.
Yeah, like if I had been with a group, I probably would have worn a Reylo something. So I thought, I don't know, I'm going to be the only one wearing a Reylo shirt. And what if somebody says something mean or, does something? And I guess for people listening, especially people who weren't involved in the fandom at that time, it might seem like a huge overreaction. Like, oh, what's the big deal? It was a big deal. Like, we were getting called names online. We were being called like immoral freaks and, S&M.
Bad example to children.
Yeah.
Incest supporters.
Oh my God. We were just called horrible names. We were chased out of online communities, basically. So, of course, we were worried about, like, what are these people going to do if we all meet up in person and we're wearing some Reylo thing? They might, like, spit or throw things. I don't know what they're going to do. So it was scary. Even now, like, part of me, I wonder, because, we still get hate online. It's just way more mainstream now, so I think that it's not going to be that big of a deal. But it took courage to wear a Reylo something, I think. The best that I could do was wear that Save Ben Solo shirt, and I still felt like it was very courageous to do it. But I was just floored by the positive response. And that's actually one of the things that made me really hopeful for Ben's redemption arc, because I thought, like, the average person, they love this character. Like, there's a group of people who just don't really like him and are never going to like him. But I think the average person does really root for him and want him to be redeemed. So yeah, I'm excited to see how it's going to be this time.
Yeah, I'm really excited, and I go to Comic Cons quite a lot, and every time I always see like Kylo Ren is definitely the most, from what I've seen, the most cosplayed Star Wars character at the minute, so that's really fun to see.
And what a difference, right? In the last celebration, which I didn't go, we were afraid to even say that we supported Reylo, and now we're going to be representing a podcast that really is very pro Reylo, so we've come a long way.
Yeah,
we certainly have.
And congratulations, guys. You guys deserve it. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Well, you're part of it. I mean, come on. You worked your butt off.
It's Denise, since this will be your first ever Star Wars celebration, what are you excited about?
I don't know. I'm worried about like being alone, and I don't know. I'm starting to get worried.
Why? You're not alone. Hello.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna meet people, right? Because they're like online communities, and I think it's gonna be fun to meet people that I've only spoken to online, including Lee. I was gonna say you guys, but I think it's gonna be fun to interact, and I think it's actually an excuse to be a kid for a week, which, you know, like just do something that's playful and fun. Yeah, so that's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's like a big Star Wars party, you know.
So guys, it's been announced that there's a lottery system for the queues or the lines, however you call it, for the episode 9 panel. Can you give us more info on that?
It's actually for all the big panels. So you have to register online if your ticket, and then if you're the chosen one, you go, and the seats are assigned.
And by the way, like for people who are worried about, that they won't get their tickets at the will call, you can actually use your email to register as well, so that you can be sure to enter the lottery, because you want to be able to get a seat on those panels. Now, my understanding is, obviously the panel that most people are wanting to get into is the episode 9 panel, which is on Friday, April 12th. That is going to happen on the celebration stage. But then they have kind of 2 overflow stages, the Galaxy stage and the Twin Sun stage, where you can still enter the lottery to go there, but those are just streaming panels. So they're not like where the event is actually going to be. But from my experience from the last celebration, because I didn't actually get to go to the main stage one, even though I slept on the floor overnight, because they only let the first 3,000 people in. I was person number 4,000, I guess. So I did go to the overflow panel, but it was Warwick Davis who was hosting. And we still got the poster that they were giving away. So even if you don't get to be in the live stage and you get to the overflow stages, I'm sure there's still going to be fun things going on there. So it's worth it, I think, to enter the lottery for those. And like Denise said, you do have to, like, once you get in, if you get that message that you're in, you have to reserve your seat, and I think it's a sign. I have mixed feelings about the whole thing. Yeah. On the one hand, I talk so much about how I love doing the sleepover and the sense of community that you get. On the other hand, it really was a bummer that you had to spend most of your time waiting for things, waiting in line basically to get into a panel. So now they have a new system that they're going to use for, they call it like a virtual queuing. It's like a light speed queuing where you get to actually reserve your spot and you don't have to do a lottery for that. That actually opens up on the day of the panels that you're going to be reserving. And you get to do that also for if you're going shopping for, the stores. So that's really great, because I wanted to go into the stores, but the line was like 3 hours long, and I was like, oh, forget it. So I think these improvements are for the best, although, like I said, it's kind of a downer.
But now you can stay nice and warm in your hotel bed.
Yeah, but then at the same time, it's out of your hands. Like, if you get in, you get in. If you don't, you don't,
Just trust the Force.
Trust in the Force.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
I think it's really good, and I think for smaller panels it's gonna help a lot. For the university panel, it has some really cool stuff, by the way. There's some authors that are gonna be there. It's not the reservation thing, it's just first come, first serve, the regular line. Same thing for the podcast stage. I'm just saying.
Actually, let's talk a little bit about what panels have been announced, because we've been waiting to hear. And it's so important to know what you want to get into so you can plan your day. So Friday, April 12th is the episode 9 panel at 11 a.m. So far, Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams are confirmed for that, but they keep saying surprise guests. So we'll see what that means. Then on Saturday, April 13th at 11 a.m. is the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge panel for people who are into that.
That would have been one I would have wanted to go to, because I am going to Disneyland in LA in June. So I would have wanted to.
So you'll be reporting from there.
I will definitely be recording from there.
That's awesome. So then at that same day, Saturday 13th at 1:30 is the Jedi Fallen Order panel, which I have no idea what that is.
It's a new game.
Video game. Bring it on.
Then there's something called the Vader Immortal panel.
Vader Immortal is a project for a new Oculus, like 3-dimensional storytelling with Vader in his castle. I'm not even sure what it is. I haven't seen a lot of interest for it.
That Vader Immortal panel is Friday at 1:30 p.m., not Saturday, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, and then next, the Star Wars Rebels panel I'm really interested in. 12:45 p.m., Saturday, April 13th. And then this one is the one that we wanted to go to, Denise, but we won't be able to. The Clone Wars panel on Sunday, April 14th at 3:30 p.m. ends at 4:30 p.m. And our university stage panel is Sunday, April 14th at 4:15 p.m. So we won't be able to see it. Aww.
I want to go to the Mandalorian panel. When is it again? I think it's on Sunday morning, right? It's one of the morning panels. It's one of the big panels in the morning. I want to go there. I want to go to that one. I wanted to go to the Clone Wars, but I'm not going. But it's okay.
The Mandalorian panel is on Sunday, April 14 at 11 a.m. on the Celebration stage.
Yeah,
you have to enter the lottery.
The lottery, same thing.
So, okay. Actually, there's a neat little description of each panel on StarWars.com. We're going to link you guys to it so you can read about it. But, like, can we talk about the fact that there won't be a sleepover this year? I mean, the more I think about my experience, the more surreal it seems to me. It was insane to be in line for like more than 14 hours. It's crazy how we went through that, but it was so much fun.
2017, the panel, I don't think they started opening for the Last Jedi panel until 8 o'clock, and people started queuing out on 2 p.m. like the previous day. And,
oh my god.
Yeah, and we were lucky because we caught wind of it, I think, on a Facebook group that people had started camping out, and we managed to get really the first block in the queue. I think we were really close to the door, and I thought to myself, I remember saying to myself, "Oh, it's okay, I'll go on the day dressed up, and then I'll go back to the condo we were staying at, get changed, and then grab my sleeping bag." No, I did not have a chance to do that, so I had to quickly change and then run out in my plain clothes, and I didn't have anything. So luckily, when we got into the big gym where we slept over, I was freezing that whole night because I didn't have a sleeping bag. All I had was like a little airplane blanket that somebody gave me, to keep warm, but it was freezing. So
I actually was talking to one of the Star Wars Connection girls for this panel. We were planning like the sleepover, and they texted me and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna go start queuing now." And I was like, "What?" It's like 2 o'clock. So I went to the hotel and I actually napped. And, I ate and I was like Skyping with some people. And then I was like, okay, fine. So I'm going to go. My friend that was staying with me in the hotel room hadn't actually arrived yet. So she wasn't able to go with me to the sleepover. So it was just me by myself. And by the time I arrived, they were going to open the door, I think around 8. That's the time they said. And I showed up around 8:30, and there were already thousands of people. And it's exciting. You come in and you see this sea of humanity, people with all these bags, and some people were in cosplay. Some people had, their lightsabers, and there's just this air of excitement, and you're like, oh my God. So you're just walking in a throng, kind of inching by, one step at a time. And finally you get like into this massive room, and we're going to show you guys some pictures where like aisles are cordoned off, right? And you keep walking, and then when the line stops, wherever you happen to be standing on the cement floor is where you're gonna basically, lay down and sleep. Yeah, and that's where you're gonna be. And whoever's around you at that time is your people that you're gonna be with. So I didn't know anybody. The Star Wars Connection people were way up ahead. Like there were literally like 3,000 people between us. So, and I was just there, and I sat down. I didn't know anybody, but we started talking. Whoever happened to be there, and we just talked all night. It was a great time. It was so much fun to talk to Star Wars fans from all over the world. I happen to be in an area where, because I've mentioned to you guys, I'm from Latin America. Spanish is my native language. So out of the people who were around me, like there were 4 people that spoke Spanish also, that actually flown in from Latin America, from different places. They didn't know each other. And we just started talking, and it was so much fun. The only thing was that, there wasn't a lot of food available, because they did have like this one like fast food restaurant, but they ended up closing like around midnight, I think. So if you didn't have food on you, that was it. And there weren't many good options anyway that were open in the little kind of food court area. So you had to have your water and your stuff. I guess they had vending machines. I didn't really venture out too far. But, it's like, okay, so you're kind of trapped there. Yeah. And you can't leave. Then I was surprised when the lightsaber duels broke out. Like
that was so much fun. I remember taking pictures of that. There was this Finn, what's the word? Role playing with this dude cosplaying as Kylo Ren, and they were having just a ball of a time. You could tell, but oh my god, the poor Kylo Ren got so exhausted. You could hear him breathing really harshly through that mask.
It was fantastic. Like, I have to say, like, to cosplay at the sleepover, it's like extra work, right? Yeah. But it's like there's so many people cosplaying. It was amazing.
Funny story. Myself and like a load, there must have been like 12 of us, all girls, ran up to this Kylo Ren dude asking for a picture, like all of us at once. So he was just surrounded by girls, and you could tell he was enjoying it immensely, because he was sort of like looking around thinking, where have all these women come from? And he said to us, usually people are scared of me. So it was I think he enjoyed that. Who doesn't enjoy having like 12 girls admiring your cosplay like that, begging for a picture?
There were some great Kylos, I have to say. There was one that when I saw him, he was with a Darth Vader, and it was so awesome. Like they were just standing there for people to take pictures of them. But then I guess the most exciting, obviously, like the high point of the night was when Rian Johnson shows up, Yeah. And it was like it was fun. He stayed there for like 2 hours.
I think it was 4. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm sure it was longer than that.
And then you could go up and get, his signature and take pictures with him and talk to him for a little bit.
I did. I mean, I will say, whatever your feelings on Rian Johnson or The Last Jedi are, I don't think anyone can deny who was there that night, how fun and how, brilliant just to meet him and the whole panel experience was. I mean, I went up to him and I wore this yellow and white kind of like vintage 40s dress, and he said, "Oh, I love your dress," and that just made my night.
Aww. Yeah, one of the Star Wars Celebration girls had like a Reylo socks. She had, I actually have those socks. She had a Kylo Ren sock and a Rey sock, and he loved it. He complimented her on. He's like, "I love that. It was so great." And then one of the guys that was like somewhat near where I was, he went up to Ryan and he asked him like, "So what's your secret for being a great director?" And he was like, "I don't know. I'll tell you when I find out." Like, he was really humble. He was, it's a nice gesture, I think. I think JJ did the same thing in London, right?
No, because that was for Rogue One. But I think the one before that was in LA.
I see. I think I heard something about JJ going to where people were. But anyway, yeah, it's too bad we won't get to do the sleepover. I know it sounds like, why do you want to, like, let me put it this way. I did not go prepared at all. I had not brought like a sleeping bag or anything. I barely had like a jacket, so I was freezing. I was directly on the cold, hard cement. But it was such a great experience. It was like one of those once-in-a-lifetime experiences where, like, being in a room with 4,000 Star Wars fans who would like sleep on concrete to go to a panel. Like, these are hardcore fans like me. Like, I don't know anybody like that in real life, So it just felt like like being part of something. It was amazing. It's something I'm never going to forget.
What's your main advice for celebration for us noobs who are going there for the first time?
Don't be overwhelmed by the size of it.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say wear comfortable walking shoes because you're going to be walking a lot, and relax and have fun. I mean, this is going to be, like I said, once in a lifetime. I think that there's so much drama in the fandom that we sometimes forget that at the end of the day, we all really just love Star Wars. You know, even if people who don't care about Reylo, people who do care about Reylo, people who are divided on what movies are good or not in the last celebration, it doesn't matter. All that goes out the window when you're talking to people. We're all just Star Wars fans, so there's a lot of like positivity, and it's more about what we all have in common. So I would say just, you know, relax and enjoy talking to people from different places. I had one negative experience while I was there, and it was actually at a Denny's at 5 o'clock in the morning, just like having a late dinner. And I was talking to my friend, and we were talking about Star Wars and sharing some points of view, and a guy like 3 tables over like screamed like, "That's not true," you know, like, "Don't say that." And I was like, oh my God, give me a break. But, you know, it was like we brushed it off and we continued our conversation. But other than that, I didn't see any weirdness. I think if somebody has like a weird attitude, you know, just like ignore it. And
yeah, look away.
There's no point in, you know, there's so many great things going on. There's so much to do. There's no point in like investing energy into arguing with people. And I don't think the majority of people are going there with that energy anyway. So I think it'll be a blast. It'll be super fun.
Yeah, I had like one negative experience, I guess, that turned into a kind of a humorous positive one. Basically, I started chatting with this guy, and I asked him who Rey's parents were, and he said, "Oh, it's got to be Han Solo because Rey repeated Han Solo's lines and completed it." And I kind of like went through how I thought Rey wasn't Han's daughter because she wore the exact same hairstyle that she had when she was a kid, and Han didn't recognize her. And then Leia was like totally willing to sacrifice Rey on Starkiller Base. Like, who would do that to their own daughter? And I could literally see the wheels in this guy's head turning as he kind of like processed what I said. And then he looked at me and said, "What's your name?" I told him, and he said, "Oh, it's nice to meet you." He shook my hand, told me he'd see me around, and then completely blanked me and turned around to speak to someone else.
Okay, I guess that's a mature way of dealing with your differences, and like, totally don't want to hear what you have to say anymore. Goodbye. Oh, whatever. I'd rather that than somebody being rude and trying to like, you know, argue. So, yeah. Like I said, I didn't see any examples of anything like that. So there was this one guy, like the day that I wore my Save Ben Solo shirt, that he was like, "Oh, he's done for. He's not going to be redeemed. Are you kidding?" And so we had like a little back and forth, but it was fun. It was kind of lighthearted. It wasn't like, you know. So I'm really encouraged. I think it's gonna be a fun time. The other thing I would say about as far as being prepared, bring like spare batteries for your phone, because, you know, I don't know that there's always going to be an area to charge phones, and if there is, there might be a lot of people waiting for that. So it's like one of those common sense things, you know, invest in that so that you're not left without batteries.
Like, sing the song, be prepared. Like, just come prepared as you can, get bottles of water. If you're coming from a foreign country, make sure you get a good data packet, because I can tell you, the Wi-Fi was absolutely rubbish, and unfortunately, at the time, the UK network that I had was horrible. Like, if I switched my data on, it would charge me £5 per gigabyte, which is,
oh my God.
Yeah, which is weird. So I didn't even dare to turn it on. So make sure you, like I said, make sure you bring good data packets, make sure you have access to a good info page. There we go.
Also prepare as far as knowing what's going on where. Because here's the thing, if you've ever been to like a large conference, you know, there's always like in the time slot, there's like 10 things going on, and some of them might be awesome. So you gotta just make tough decisions. You gotta know. There's a whole bunch of things that I missed out on. There were so many great things that were happening and that I didn't know about. So be prepared as far as knowing what's going on.
Yeah, I will say I managed to find the artwork table during the London one. I was desperate to get my hands on that gorgeous Eric Mayles Rey's abduction painting, which I did, and he was such a lovely, humble man. And he even though my Mara Jade cosplay was terrible, he complimented it and said that's the first Mara Jade cosplay I've seen. And then in Orlando, when I found that table and saw him again, he recognized me from the year before, so that was quite humbling.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a nice marriage.
Another advice that I have is just more like outside of Celebration, I would say, enjoy the city. I mean, Chicago is one of the best cities in the entire world. It's so great. And there's so many great things to do. And, you know, you have Star Wars for 5 days. So if you can spare some time to like go do something fun, you know, enjoy it. Look up what things to do and places to eat. You know, Chicago is just amazing. And it's fun just to walk. And hopefully it's going to be warmer in April. So it's going to be great weather. And I'm hoping that you can just walk up and down Magnificent Mile. For me, it's one of my favorite things in the world. You can also do like an architecture boat tour that is, I think it's a must do if you're ever in Chicago and you've never been there before. You can also go to the Art Institute of Chicago. You can rent a bicycle and ride along Lakeshore Drive and go down to the Navy Pier. Of course, the Bean. You know, there's so many great things to do in the city.
Yeah, some advice I'd have would be also bring lots of bags as well, because you are just going to be looking at all the merc and loving it, because there are so many like wonderful like action figures and paintings and just posters and just rare items that you're going to find as well, and they're awesome as well. So bring lots of plastic bags so you can carry them around as well.
Oh,
that's a good idea.
And money.
And money.
Maybe money, and maybe budget a little bit if you have a limited income, so that you can, because there are great things that pop up. I actually bought like great Kylo Ren earrings at Celebration, yeah, and they're like silver. I have one of those like allergies where I can only wear certain metals, so that was perfect for me, and I still wear those all the time. So I also got a great print of Jon Snow and Ghost, and it's hanging in my living room right now. I actually got to talk to the artist a little bit. There's always amazing things that you don't expect to see and people you don't expect to meet, so it's gonna be fun. I'm so excited.
Yay.
And I guess, okay, last thing for me as far as advice, and this is something that I don't do, and I'm gonna make an effort to do it. Like, I don't like social media. I'm like hardly ever on social media except really Tumblr, and that's more like managing our account. My personal Tumblr, I don't really pay too much attention to it, but it's really good to be connected online, because that's how you find out that things are going on. So start joining groups that are, for people going to Celebration, so that you can network. And if you happen to be going by yourself, then you always have somebody, like something that you can join or some people that you can meet up with. Yeah, and if you see us there, please say hi. We're happy to meet up with you guys.
Yeah, how are they gonna recognize us though? Well,
we're gonna be on stage for one thing. If you see Queen Amidala, go say hi.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a Darth Denise. So
Darth Denise.
I'm actually driving up there, Denise, so I can bring you my Kylo Ren lightsaber. Okay. So you can have a lightsaber, yeah.
I was actually going to ask Denise then, is she going to have a lightsaber?
Yeah, I didn't order a lightsaber. I just ordered the cape.
Yeah,
I'm the one that does force lightning and force choking. I don't need a lightsaber.
One word of advice. This is a rookie mistake I made. I bought a Kylo Ren lightsaber at Orlando Celebration, and then I couldn't transport it with me on the plane, so I had to ship it by FedEx, and it costs more money than the lightsaber itself. Like, they do have shipping stations on the ground, so you don't have to like go out looking for a FedEx. There are shipping areas, but it costs money. So on second thought, I thought, okay, I'll remember that I bought it at Celebration, and that's why I got it, because I wanted the memory of having acquired it, and I loved carrying it around when I was there. But it's a lot of money to ship stuff, so just be mindful of that. Don't just buy stuff that then you can't transport,
Yeah, or even like bring extra money so you can ship stuff.
Exactly.
Well, out of curiosity, Lee, was it the Black Series Kylo Ren lightsaber? I bought that at Manchester Comic Con like last year, or was it the year before? Anyway, I saw it and I'm like, give me that. I want it.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, because
It is.
I really wanted like a really good lightsaber, because that's the thing, because I was flying from the UK, I couldn't bring my lightsaber, and I really wanted the Luke Skywalker Black Series lightsaber, so my Mara Jade cosplay could look really cool, but A, it was too expensive, and B, I was like, how on earth am I going to fit that in my suitcase on the way home? I couldn't.
What did you do? Did you
I
ship
didn't
it, or-
buy it.
Oh, okay.
But maybe one day. I'll get it one day. But I have the Kylo one, so I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
Guys, there's like a Reylo presence at this Star Wars Celebration. I think that it's pretty cool that, you know, like we were talking about how last time we felt like we had to hide almost, and now we get to be kind of out and about. So
I can't believe it. I'm actually, there's been such an overwhelming positive response from everyone, and I'm floored. I know I won't be there, but I can't say how much this response means to me, because I've been one of the Reylos who's been afraid to speak out. Even now, after The Last Jedi, I still find it very difficult to talk about Reylo and my love for it, and my love for Star Wars as well, because I'm afraid of it, you know, of just, I don't know how to describe it. So thank you very much for the overwhelming positive response, guys. It's been amazing.
yeah, seriously. And I think it'll be a great opportunity, because just like we've been afraid of people's reaction, you know, when we say we like Reylo. I think also a lot of people who don't know anything about the fandom, the Reylo fandom, maybe don't know what we're about either. And they think like, you know, we have two heads and covered in scales or whatever. So it'll be good to kind of hear each other kind of be there and talk about what we're, you know, what we're interested in, and show people, I mean, we're just fans like anybody else. So I think that it's a great thing. I see it as a very positive thing for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm really happy about it.
Especially considering we've gone from, like, you know, a taboo, the evil taboo topic in the Star Wars community, to, regardless of whether Reylo's going to happen in episode 9 or not, we've come to this, to having like a massive fan presence at Celebration. It's amazing.
And I've already seen people saying, like, you guys, just because, you know, they let a Reylo podcast talk about Reylo at the university panel doesn't mean that Reylo is canon. Okay, fair enough. But it also means that, like, if it were incest, do you think that they would have let us do the panel? So I feel like there is some legitimacy with the fact that it's okay to talk about Reylo at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, I think everybody has the right to talk about whatever they want. And it's sad that we were denied this right. Well, some people had ridiculous theories, which is fine. It's fine. It's fun to have ridiculous theories, you know, but just everybody has the right to speak. So it's nice to be represented there, and that there will be other podcasts, other projects also doing that, and it's wonderful. Yeah,
I mean, the whole point is that you get to be a Star Wars fan in the way that you want to be a Star Wars fan, as long as you're not hurting anybody, right? So, like, that's great. Like, some people collect things, and we talk about Reylo all day long. That's our thing. But it's just a different way of enjoying and experiencing the fandom life. So it's so good that, you know, we get to express that.
So I think that's it for our Celebration. We do have another little announcement. We have a little competition going where, drum roll please, you can win some Forces of Destiny Reylo dolls. Hooray!
yay.
Yay! I want those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people saying that these are really hard to find. I don't know why. But anyway, yes guys, if you want this pair, they could be yours.
Yeah, you have to enter on, the link is gonna be in the description here in the pinned comment. You just go on the link and click there and enter, and you'll be entered, and may the Force serve you well. Yeah. It needs to serve you well. Yeah.
Alright guys, thank you for listening to our Celebration podcast. We hope you enjoyed, and we hope to see you at Celebration. If you like it, please subscribe, it helps us, and you can follow us on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and SoundCloud. Until next time, and may the Force serve you well.